Beyond the teleprompter, where the cadence of breaking news often feels relentless and impersonal, Al Roker has learned that the most challenging moments of his career are not always the ones marked by storms, tragedies, or urgent red banners, but those quieter, more complicated days when personal crises collide with the unyielding demand to remain composed on air. A tension made more bearable by the steady presence of his wife, Deborah Roberts, who understands in her bones what it means to carry private weight while speaking to a nation. For decades, Al has been a familiar figure in American homes, his warmth and reliability offering comfort amid uncertainty. Yet that familiarity can obscure the reality that he, like the viewers who have aged alongside him, has faced seasons of vulnerability that do not pause for commercial breaks or accommodate the rhythms of a live broadcast. When breaking news erupts, the expectation is clarity and calm. But when personal concerns, health scares, family worries, the quiet reckoning that comes with midlife press in at the same time, the effort required to maintain that calm becomes an act of quiet courage. Deborah, herself a respected journalist, recognizes the subtle shift in Al's demeanor when the strain grows heavier. The way he leans a little more deliberately into his words, the careful humor that masks fatigue, the determination to show up fully even when the heart is elsewhere. For an audience in their 60s, these moments resonate deeply, reflecting a shared understanding that life rarely arranges its challenges neatly. Responsibilities persist even as personal storms gather, and resilience often looks less like bravado and more like persistence. Al's career has been marked by an ability to translate complex information into something human and accessible, and that skill has only deepened as he has navigated his own trials, learning that empathy is not diminished by personal struggle, but sharpened by it. Deborah has often spoken of the importance of perspective, of knowing when to lean into the work and when to step back, a balance that becomes increasingly precious with age, as energy is finite and priorities shift toward what truly sustains the spirit. Together, they have learned that the teleprompter does not define the whole story. It is merely a tool, a lens through which a broader, more complicated life is briefly refracted. Breaking news has a way of compressing time, demanding immediate attention. Yet personal crises unfold on a slower, more intimate scale, requiring patience and reflection, and Al's challenge has been to honor both without allowing either to eclipse the other. For viewers who have weathered their own share of unexpected diagnoses, family upheavals, and moments when duty called despite exhaustion, Al's presence offers validation rather than spectacle. A reminder that showing up does not mean denying pain, but integrating it into a fuller understanding of what it means to be present. Deborah's role in this journey has been both anchor and counterbalance, encouraging Al to acknowledge the limits of endurance while celebrating the strength found in shared purpose, late-night conversations, and the unspoken reassurance that comes from being truly seen by someone who understands the cost of the work. As the years have passed, Al's relationship with breaking news has evolved, shaped by a growing awareness that urgency does not always equal importance, and that the stories which linger longest are often the ones that connect public events to private lives. This evolution mirrors the perspective of his audience, many of whom have moved beyond the chase for constant novelty and toward a deeper appreciation for context, continuity, and meaning. When personal crises clash with professional demands, Al's response is not to retreat behind the teleprompter, but to stand a little more firmly in his humanity, trusting that authenticity fosters trust. Deborah has often reflected on how these moments strengthen rather than strain their partnership, reinforcing a shared commitment to journalism as a service rather than a performance, one that honors the complexity of lived experience. In a media landscape that can feel increasingly loud and fragmented, Al Roker's enduring appeal lies in his ability to bridge the gap between the extraordinary and the everyday, to acknowledge that life's hardest moments do not wait their turn, and to model a form of resilience that is neither dramatic nor performative, but quietly steadfast. For a generation that has learned through experience that endurance is built one day at a time, His story offers reassurance that it is possible to meet the demands of the world without losing sight of oneself, and that beyond the teleprompter, in the shared space between public duty and private life, there remains room for grace, partnership, and a deep, abiding sense of purpose.